Hello everyone. We are going to talk about supplemental application materials today, and I'm happy to introduce our speakers, Yana Kachenyuk, who was currently accepted to the US University, Alexander Malchagin, who's been studying for 1 year in the American University, and myself, Irina Nikolaeva, Education USA Advisor for St. Petersburg. We will be glad to talk with you about supplemental application materials, why is it important, what does it look like, and many other things. We are going to discuss supplemental materials. What are they? Types of supplemental materials, things you can do. What did we do? We mean our CCC alumni who has been accepted and they got financial aid, so they were very successful and they can share their experience, what exactly they did to show university that they're excellent candidates. And some advice from us. Why supplemental materials are important and what are they? Um, it's additional materials which is used to support your main submission. As you know, university asks you to send SAT or ACT, TOEFL results, and they can say, looking at those results, how you are doing. Is your English well? How is everything else? They also like to look to your GPA and many other things. But it's very good that you can show them something else except your exams, except your numbers. You can show them how talented you are, how good you are, how what a good leadership experience you have, and many other things. That's why we need supplemental materials.
So now we're going to talk about types of supplemental materials. So first of all, you can submit portfolio. So portfolio is basically a compilation of your materials that tell us about your skills, your beliefs, your qualification, and so many other things. Besides, you can also submit additional questions or essays. They're usually part of your common application, and you can find their different questions you can answer. So why do you want to go to that school? Or sometimes weird, but very interesting to answer questions. And college interview. College interview is very important part of your application because there it is time for you to build a connection between you and the university. And it is kind of an interview. It is a short face-to-face meeting, usually between a college admissions officer. But in my experience, I have usually had interviews with current students or college alumni. So what can you submit as your portfolio? So basically, as a portfolio, you can submit a lot of things. And it could be publication, research, creative writing, or maybe you're into sport and you want to show to the college that you're such a good player, football player. So make a recording, send to the admissions officer. And maybe you could make your resume or website. And we actually have a session, already recorded session about how to create resume or website. And maybe you're into art, so you can make an art portfolio where you submit your, I don't know, performances or your artworks. So you can submit anything you want, which shows you who you are as a human being. What do you stand for? What do you like? What are your hobbies? And these things will help you to stand out and be the one who is going to get accepted, and not just accepted, but get the full funding you need.
So talking about additional essays and additional questions, I would say that they are not optional for us. They are mandatory since, for international students, it's much harder to get accepted to a good college with a full funding. So guys, please always answer all additional questions and always write all additional essays. It's an extremely useful opportunity to show yourself from another side. You can include all information that you didn't manage to include in the main essay or in the rest of application materials. Basically, it includes all your valuable skills, civic activities, volunteering, your college choice like why did you choose this college, or just interesting facts about you. So on this slide, you can see some topics. When I was applying to Kalamazoo College, I had an additional essay about why Kalamazoo College. And I put a lot of different reasons, starting with the motto, like a more in for more in lifetime, and ending with the location and the climate of the college. Interviews are not less important than essays. In fact, this opportunity will help you to show yourself from another point more naturally, since you'll be speaking to the uh, application officer directly. Well, in some cases, yes, the college they provide students in order to take an interview, but it depends on the college. Like if the college is really big, then you're gonna speak to a student. Here are some specific tips that you need to follow. The first one is schedule your interview early. It's very important because you just need to know your schedule in advance. The second one, bring specific questions. This point will help you to explain the college that you're really interested in this college. So make a research and prove that you're really interested in it. Always prepare for common college interview questions. I think there's a special list in the CCC folder and all of you have access to it, so use it. Always be yourself, be honest, and just tell the best part about you. Have a conversation. Never try to memorize answers for any questions. And practice interviews with friends or family. Actually, in CCC, there's a special opportunity called mock interview, and last year I used it. For me, it was very beneficial since I think without it, I would just totally fail the interview. Here are some questions that you meet during the interview process. So the first one is just tell me about yourself. I'm 100% sure that you will meet this question. And in order to answer this question, you should just practice as much as you can. You should make sure that you can prove your uniqueness through this question. Next question is, why are you interested in this college? And to answer this question, you really need to make an extensive college research before the interview. What are your academic weaknesses? How have you addressed them? So in this question is a bit tricky because some people can say, like, I don't have any weaknesses, I'm a perfect person. But everyone understands that it's impossible, especially the admission of the college. What do you plan to contribute to this college? The college is not only about academic part, so make sure that you know everything about their extracurricular activity, like different clubs, and prepare the list of clubs, for example, that you want to be in during the college.
So let's see what we've done. We're here to help. CCC is an amazing community with a lot of different experiences. And we have learned from last year's CC series, and this year we're going to talk about what we have done. So I'm an upcoming freshman at Duke Conshan University, and I believe that in my application, supplemental materials played such an important role. And I kind of believe that they are kind of the reason why I got accepted, the funding I needed. So as a supplemental material, I have submitted a resume and a website. So my advice to you would be creative. Supplemental materials are a way for you to send out, show who you are as a human being, what are you interested in. So maybe you have different ideas and kind of internet helps you, and there are so many resources you can use to make sure that everything you have can be put in such easy to scan and understandable way. So I don't know, maybe you want to have a presentation or maybe something else, and you have such freedom to do that. So use photos and videos. I believe that you want to be a little bit more than just letters and numbers. So use photos and videos if you have them, because then admissions officer is going to see you not just some student from Russia, but so much more. Now they're going to see your facial expressions and just build a connection with you. So make your resume easy to scan. I think that's very important because from my own experience, I have seen that CCCers have so many great experiences and they're all so unique. And we have so many things we want to show and send to the American University. And it's hard to choose. And we have only one page to put all those activities. So yeah, you need to have some choices made and cut some things you have been doing and make it easy to scan, make it easy to understand, because admissions officer have only a few minutes to go through your application, and you don't wanna send them the whole text. Just try to eliminate and at the same time choose specific achievements over general responsibilities. Because resume is only one page. Try the best you can and show them that you're the best candidate. And of course, you have done so many things, but here is the place for you to show you're the best and you've done so many great things.
So talking about my experience, I have submitted all supplemental materials I could. So basically I have submitted a resume. I participated in the interview and I also wrote an essay about why exactly did I choose the Kalamazoo College. So the most important advice from me is always be honest. If you lie in one part, they will definitely find out this. The next thing I would like to say is use links to your projects and maybe even create some websites for your projects as I did. So on this slide, you can see a website of one of my projects. It's called World of English, and I put the link to this project in my resume. Of course, put some interesting facts about yourself in order not to be too serious and prove that you are valuable. So here we have some videos from other CCCers. They would like to say you about the application process and what did they submit. Here's Polina Karatkova.
Hi guys, my name is Paulina. I'm an upcoming freshman at a SAC business school located in France, near Paris. You can see it right behind me. And I was also admitted to several American institutions which gave me sufficient funding, which were Rhodes College, Bard College, and Marquette University. And now I would like to tell you about the music portfolio that I submitted to American universities. So I write my own songs, and I decided to submit composer's portfolio because I think that songwriting is not a frequent activity, and that made me stand out somehow in the applicant pool. So many universities in the US use a special platform which allows to submit music portfolio called SlideRoom. You probably heard about it. And on this slide on the bottom, you can see a screen from my SlideRoom application, the portfolio section, where I uploaded 4 videos of myself singing my own songs. And well, I first uploaded these videos on YouTube privately, so only those who have the link can access them. And then I just added these links to the SlideRoom portfolio, which was very simple and easy to do. And also, SlideRoom includes some questions about your musical background, like the instruments you play, and etc. And you can answer these questions in details, or you can send the universities your music resume, which I did. And on the left of the slide, you can see my music resume, which includes some information about my education in terms of music, so my music school, skills, the instruments I play, experience, some concerts that I participated in, and the names of my self-composed songs. Yeah, that's pretty much about the portfolio that I sent. And now I want to give you some advice about arts portfolio. So first of all, if you can do video instead of audio, this will be better That's a really important advice that Kim gave me when I was submitting my portfolio because, well, it really helps other people to get to know you better, to see you. This gives them visual representation of who you are. It's just easier to show something about you through video rather than through audio. And it's important to make it visually pleasant because people with visual perception, they will be more willing to look at something that really looks good. So just make your portfolio and your resume look good. Another advice is, again, do something that is not ordinary. Do something that will make the commission remember you. Because a lot of people apply to American universities, and in order to stand out, do something that other people won't do. And finally, it's very important for universities to see that you want to stay involved in music during your college experience. So if they ask you questions about how are you going to continue with music in college, be very specific, like study the ensembles that the university offers, some special music programs, maybe equipment or professors that you want to work with. So be very specific and try to show your commitment to continue being involved in music or other arts that you are performing. So that's it. Thank you.
And another person who wants to share his thoughts is Polina Zhvikova.
Hello, everybody. My name is Polina Zhvikova, and last fall I applied into American universities. I got accepted into 2 American universities. The first one is Lynn University, Early Action Plan. This university is located in Florida, and Kalamazoo College, Early Action Plan, and this university is located in Michigan. As a supplemental material, I sent my presentation where I described more my personal traits, where I described myself. And in order to do this, I used my name. And to be exact, I used the letters from my name. For example, P is for positive thinker, O is for bookworm, or L is for leader and creator. Of course, I elaborated more on this. What does it mean? And as you can see, I wrote a little story on every slide of what it means to me personally, what experience in this sphere I have. And I also use surname in order to tell a little bit more. So after I was accepted into Kalamazoo College, one of the admission counselors, he wrote a note for me where he said that he was impressed by my presentation and he really would like to talk with me more. And yes, it was very unexpected, and it was so pleasant to just see this, to read this, and I was just very happy about this. So what I recommend you guys to do, the first thing is not to be shy. Really try to remember what achievements, what personal achievements you have, and maybe you have experience in the spheres you didn't mention in your coalition form or common app for wherever form you use. And don't be shy to tell more about this, what it means to you, what it brought to your life. So second advice is focus on your personal achievements. Maybe they're not that academic to describe them into official forms or in your essay, but it really means a lot to you. So no chance you should just hide this. No. Please focus on this. tell your story, because admission counselors are seeking for personalities and not just robots. And tell more about your vision of the world. Maybe you have some ideas which are worth spreading and which are you're really passionate about. So tell about them and don't hide them. Nobody just would steal them from you. So in order to do my presentation, I use canva.com. This is a free platform where you can design your presentation or PDF file. This is really convenient and this is really easy to use. Also, of course, you can use PowerPoint, and there's a free online version of it. So enjoy. And of course, Google Slides, which is really easy to use. But personally, I think that canva.com is the most convenient and the most professional program to design wherever you need. So guys, you should try. And if you have any questions to me, don't hesitate to to contact me, to text me, Facebook, VK, or mail, wherever you prefer. And I'll be really happy to help you, to advise you something, or to just wish you luck personally. And good luck to each of you. I really believe in you. It's gonna be a tough process, but you're gonna go for it and make it. So guys, bye.
So last but not least, very important part, let's make sure that university knows about your work. So sure, you're gonna have some materials which you can submit on common application or any other application portal. So you're gonna have your, for sure, definitely, your supplemental essays, additional questions submitted on common application. But maybe some universities also offer for you to submit your resume there, and you can also add there a link to your web. So for sure to check that. Even though you have that opportunity, most universities don't, and you have to write them an email. So down you can see an example of an email you can send. So dear university, as a supplement to my common application, I would like to submit for your consideration the following. And then you add your materials you want to add. So, and always thank you for your time. Always thank them for their time because they're spending it and it's extra, which is you just want them to see it. And then, very important step, you have to check your application status portal. All of those materials you want to send with the help of the common application or with the help of the email, they're all added to your application status portal. And sometimes those, and most of the time, those emails are not read from the first time. So you have to, in 1 week, you have to check whether those materials have been added to your portal. If not, then write them again. And if they didn't get it from the second time, write them again. In my case, usually they would get this email when I would send them for the second time, but it's fine. It is important for you to for them to get your email. So don't miss out those steps and make sure to send to them your materials any way you can so they can see them. So summing up our tips for you and would be don't overload your application and only what is valuable. And this is the key. We're also great and amazing. We have done great things, but you have to choose which are most important because you can't send them everything you've been doing. This is kind of pointless because when they're going to see so many things, they're not going to read them. They don't have time for that. As a suggestion, you could focus on depth and length of the commitment. They want to know that you haven't been doing something for just last 2 months because you want to apply to university. They want to see that you have been doing something for a very long time. You have been committed to something. So focus on that. And kind of worth mentioning duration, number of people you have managed, and your tasks. So here's the tricky part. You kind of have to be specific, but at the same time, don't overload your application. So try to focus on that and try to find the balance between those things. Highlight the things you couldn't, you kind of weren't able to write in your college essay or an activity list. So in my experience, I didn't write about my activities or hobbies in my main admissions essay. There I focused more on my personal life and personal growth. But supplemental materials and my hobbies are a huge part of my life. So that's why I kind of focused on them in the activity list. But in activity list, you kind of have on the 20 symbols, which is not enough for something you've been doing for the last 3 to 4 years. So use any other material, so supplemental materials, resume, and a website. You can dig deep in those things in your resume or website, or a video, for instance, if you want to have that. Make sure that you have prepared certification, summaries, and actual work because it might be required. In my case, I kind of included those materials already on my website, but maybe you don't have space for that. But at the same time, you should have it prepared because we never know. Maybe university, in most cases, university usually trust you, but who knows, something might happen and you should have that prepared. So have scans of your certificates on your computer. So maybe one day they're gonna write you and you can be, okay, I have it prepared. And pretty important, be honest and be an individual because supplemental materials are a way for you to send out and to show the admissions officer who you are. So try to be unique, but you're always unique. So try to be yourself. And at the same time, be honest. Don't lie and don't try to come up with something you haven't been doing just to make it look fancy. Admissions officers have seen so many applications, so they're gonna know for sure that you're lying. And very important part, do everything in advance. Supplemental materials are an important part of your application. But when it comes to submitting your application and it's already November and you have documents to submit, you have essays to write, you think supplemental materials can wait, but they kind of can't. You have to make them in advance. So when time comes, you have already supplemental materials prepared and you can focus more on your essays or your interviews. So try to do it right now, starting today.
And one important thing I would like to repeat. Yes, you don't need to overload your application, but please use all the supplemental material that is suggested by college. This really can increase your chances to be admitted. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.